And as all normal humans think, if they would see a giant dick, they would be like, that would look good in the cage. So they would cut it off and put it in a cage and then let people see for money. Look at that giant dick. What's up, people? Welcome back to Freaking Ape Live. My name is Dinesh and we're gonna be watching the final episode of Love, Deathless Robots. The episode is called The Drowned Giant, and it has the lowest rating, I guess, on IMDb. The highest rating was of Pulp Squad. It was a nice episode, but it was a very dark episode because kids were getting murdered. Is it like the Gulliver's Travel? Remember that book we had in school? There's a giant guy who somehow gets to an island of tiny people, and then in next book he goes to an island and become a tiny people. Maybe it's like that, who knows. Let's jump into this. If you're not subscribed, hit subscribe. We're gonna start in 3, 2, 1, go. A skull, a bone, and a dick. Oh shit, a dick! Oh, giant dick. Cause with a giant man comes a giant dick, you know. Who knows? Are they tiny people or these are the giant people?
Town heard the first news of the arrival after it had been spotted by local fishermen.
I guess tiny people.
Being scientists, my colleagues and I, of course, discounted the first reports as exaggerations.
Like what kind of scientist? Did they say scientist?
We finally decided to investigate for ourselves.
Come on then, Stephen.
Why is he naked? Look at this old lady. He's like, oh my god, this giant dick!
Proportions of his features made it impossible to assess the age of the giant.
Is he dead?
His magnificent Homeric stature offered a more authentic example of a drowned Argonaut or a hero from the Odyssey than the
Damn, those dialogues.
portraits previously in my mind.
Who is talking? Is this Shakespeare? It's like I'm listening from a literature book.
What I found so fascinating was partly his immense scale, of course, but above all, it was simply the categorical fact of his existence, in which we spectators on the beach were such imperfect and puny copies.
Imperfect. People will get freaked out if they see a giant man and they're standing on him. Come on, let's stand on his dick. The guy's like, I'm gonna kick on his balls. Why would you walk on him? That's so disrespectful, guys. They're playing, okay. I get the kids are doing it, but why this bitch? You know? He looks so dead.
From a distance, it looked as if he was merely asleep and could, at any moment, clap his heels together and crush the minuscule himself that swarmed around him.
Oh, they made an animated time lapse.
But as time passed, the magical spell cast by the giant began to dissipate.
What, his body started to get rotten?
There was nothing morbid about this, because for all intents, the giant was still alive for me.
I guess he's in love with
More
this
alive
giant.
than many of the people around me.
He's in love with this giant.
We can work our way up to the hip. Going to be some overtime getting this done.
Please tell me, oh, there's a giant dick right there.
Following day, I deliberately postponed my visit until late afternoon, hoping that I'd find fewer people on the beach.
Yeah, just chilling in the ear of this dead guy.
The seawater and the tumefaction of his tissues had given the face a less youthful look, hinting at the growing corruption to come.
Yeah.
However repellent it may seem, this ceaseless metamorphosis, this visible life in
Metamorphosis.
is what gave me the courage to finally set foot on his corpse.
At least this guy was respectful enough, I guess. But he's in the wrong field. He's not a scientist, he's an author. He's gonna write amazing books of literature. Oh, the tree is growing? Oh, somebody made a sandcastle. Okay, hello? Like, what?
This new
Oh.
be more aware of the last physical agonies of the giant, no less painful for his unawareness of them.
Yeah, he don't know that his arm got chopped off.
The amputation
I thought the guy had a lot of tattoo. No, I guess somebody made tattoos on him.
Years had passed.
Or graffitis on him.
My reluctance to witness the end of this magnificent illusion. Despite his immense size,
They're not gonna eat him, right? Like they're just gonna
body made him appear
cremate him.
to me more vulnerable. But that weakness has released a sudden flood of repressed spite, encouraging the mutilation of the Colossus by the tiny creatures around it. I visited the beach the following day. I found, almost with relief, that the head had been removed.
This area must smell so bad though.
By then, any human likeness held by the giant had vanished.
Of course.
Evening, mate.
How can you sit here? Is it not smelly?
The interest of the spectators had at last expired.
Hey, you are the only one who's coming to see, I guess, smell. And this guy. What are they boiling over there? Please don't be this dead body.
Months later, after the giant's arrival had been generally forgotten, various pieces of the body began to reappear around town.
A bone.
Most of those remains were bones.
Oh, good. Please don't be like a giant head.
Disembodied fragments seemed to better convey the essence of the giant's magnificence than my last memories of his bloated appendages.
This guy was so in love
I have no doubt,
with this giant guy.
hanging on walls.
Oh, he found the skull.
Shake it. Get out of here. Oi, get out of it. If you want to look, you pay for it.
Is that a dick? Oh shit.
This ends its days in the Freak Museum
What?
circus, which travels up and down the northwest coast.
What? What?
Monumental apparatus, stunning in its proportions and once potency.
Yeah, look how much amount of money can be earned by showing a giant dick
Sadly, it is
in
mislabeled.
a circus.
It is mislabeled as belonging to a whale.
Oh, okay.
But the giant is still alive for me. I often dream of his resurrection.
Okay.
Colossus striding through the streets of town, picking up the fragments of himself on his return journey to the sea.
Dude, what was this episode? And that's how we end Love, Death Plus Robots by this small scientist guy who says he's scientist but act more like a literature teacher. He was so in love with this giant dead man. It might not be like the sexual love, but he was like in love, you know. He was just so amazed by it and I guess couldn't stop thinking about it, you know. So that kind of love. At the end it said people stopped coming out of interest, but I guess they stopped coming because this place was too bad to smell, and you and the other guy were the only one over here, and the other guy was cooking a lot of things in the background. I sure hope those were not the giant man. And as all normal humans think, if they would see a giant dick, they would be like, that would look good in the cage, so they would cut it off and put it in a cage and then let people see for money. Look at that giant dick. All the Love, Death Plus Robot playlist is in the description, so you can watch all the reaction videos of mine of Love, Death Plus Robots. And I guess season 3 is coming pretty soon, because in season 2 there were a lot less episodes and they said that season 3 will be very much early than season 2 was. So let's just wait for season 3. Until then, we're gonna watch the other things. Well guys, that was it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to leave a like, comment and subscribe to my channel. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye guys.